Gone. Oh, there you are.
There. Yeah, I put
Yeah,
the
that
recording
was
button
the
on. Yeah,
recording.
so we record this.
Totally cool. So tell me, Faye, with everything going on weather-wise and everything, have you managed to do some homework, tarot
Oh, God,
homework?
yeah. I've been working, but boy, those pages and nights are not easy. They're such little delicate differences between them. I wade myself through them, and I have since I've been doing this.
Mm.
I can't wait though to talk to you about something else.
You too. Tell me.
Okay, Saturday I was reading tarot,
Mm.
and actually I read 2 full days since I've seen you, but the weather's
Sorry,
been
you
so
were doing
bad.
a reading or reading the book?
Reading a person.
Oh, okay.
A
Yeah.
man came in. I was at the shop. I work at a couple shops, and he came in. He was my age. That would be close to 70, maybe a little bit down. But he was really a nice man, and the reading was going so good. I mean, I was really pulling things out and
Yeah.
getting to know this guy. But the outcome was death, so I wasn't comfortable with that. And I put another card out there, and it was the burden card. I think that's
Ten
maybe
of
the Eight of
Wands.
Swords, something like that.
10 of Wands.
Yeah. And I was afraid to pick up many more because they're both kind of negative cards.
Mm.
And how do I handle it? No, with him, it was fine. He actually told me in the reading that he had taken himself off of all medications. And when he got the death card, or when he got that death, he said, his response of is, well, I'm trying to have all of my grandchildren and my children all prepared. And I didn't want to go there.
No. Did you explain to him that it's normally not about
Oh
a
God, yeah.
multiple?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I did everything. I,
Yeah.
I I did everything. And I ended up the reading by telling him that there is something going to change in his life coming up. I don't know what.
Yeah.
Something is going to
Yeah.
go away so something else can begin. But I said, and whatever it is significant enough that it's going to bother you for a while. I didn't talk about death, of course, because that
Mm-hmm.
would,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
was just fine with it though. But
Oh,
how
great.
do I handle that?
Well, that's why it's important when you get those heavy cards at the end to say, look, these are the challenging cards. So we need to do some more cards to find out how to best handle it. That is your introduction to pulling more cards.
Do I keep pulling them until something good is up
Yes, you
there?
do. I
Oh,
believe. I believe.
okay.
Frankly, I do
Because
believe
I
that.
did. But he was fine. He
No,
said,
but that's all right. You've had the
I know
experience and you know what it feels like. So it was in at the
it's
deep end.
terrible.
Um, so I don't put a number on it. I'm not going to pull 3 cards or 2 cards or 17 cards. Don't put a number on it. So the new question, you leave the cards where they are. The new question becomes, how should you best handle it? And you might
Yes,
get 2 more negative cards, but that's just what it is in real life. That's what it
it
is.
is. It was.
Difficult things. So you go till you've got. It doesn't have to be sensational. It doesn't have to be the star or anything, but just something that implies, you will have these challenges and setbacks,
Yeah.
but this 6 of Swords means you'll be moving out of it, or this will give you the strength to deal with it, or whatever. Because
Yes.
it's not always about, even though I say that, it's not about constructing a rosy outcome. Difficult cards, difficult readings are about how to help them cope.
Yes. I think I did. I really do think
I'm
in my
sure you
healing
did because
card.
of your essential nature too.
Yeah. And I do think this guy was dealing with death. I
Yeah,
really do. His
I
skin
think you
was
were.
gray.
Was
He
too.
didn't look healthy.
Yeah.
But gee, I never expected the cards to do that.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you've had that experience because now you can reflect on it and you see you've probably forgotten. But my other tip before you read for anyone is when you're just shuffling. Now, don't forget, if we get any of the really challenging cards, we'll work on that.
Okay. Yep.
It's a really good habit to get into because then,
Yes.
if and when they turn up, they don't think you're just fudging at the time, right?
Yep. Yep.
So it it's got me out of trouble. I wish someone had told me 25 years ago.
Wish I could remember it.
Yeah. But you will start to remember it after that,
Yeah,
and in a way, it's good having these, because you don't learn. It's like anything in life. You don't learn as much by doing the readings that just fall into place and they're really
right.
obvious and they're great as you do from the real gnarly ones.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that's why we, as mature women and kind women, because at
yes,
the end of the day, we have a responsibility to leave someone in better shape
exactly. That's
than
what
they
tarot
were.
is all
So if
about.
that means pulling 6 cards, so
Okay,
let's just recap that. It's ended on something, you go, let's see how to handle it. And you get 2 or 3 cards that are still awkward, difficult. You go, this is going to really be hard work for you. That's when you come into, remember what I was saying about the tower,
yeah,
is that's when I start encouraging people, don't try and get through this on your own. Have you got support? Start the
yes,
conversation about
yes,
resilience and support, and that will get you through anything really,
yep,
right?
yes, yes,
But I think you instinctively did all the right things, and it's a
yes, I
really
did.
good experience to have under your belt. Because as you said, he sort of handled it right
Yeah, he's
anyway. He was fine.
fine.
Whereas you might get someone else who's actually much more vulnerable than
Right,
he is,
right,
right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
it will give you confidence moving forward. But it's just a good habit. If any challenging cards come up, we're going to talk about it. Okay. Just
yes,
make that part of your pattern
yep,
because you don't need it till you need it.
yep. I thought of you.
No, that's great. And I'm sure you did an okay job. What was the context? He just rocked up to how you were doing readings, or what happened?
What? Yes, I was doing readings. I
Mm.
work at this crystal place, and they didn't hire me. In Wisconsin here, I don't know what works there, but you do like a little reading, and the owner of the shop keeps track of what you did, and at the end of the day, you get a percentage, and she keeps a
Look,
percentage.
that's fair enough.
Yeah,
It's all experience, you
it
know.
gets me out there, and as I say, this is my baby. I'm 70, and I plan on doing this for 30 years ahead.
Yeah, good on you, girl. And I think it's true. We all keep the cards under the bed for years and years and years, but once you do focus, it, it's like a best friend, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
just
yeah. They're like
fantastic.
my babies. Yeah.
I just love it. Oh, it's such a good story. Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, remind me, do you have the Rider Waite or the One World?
I've got them both, and I've got the one world out in front of me with the pages and the nights to go through them.
Yeah, good.
And then I got some questions for the Rider Waite deck, because after we get done, and matter of fact, that last two weeks, whenever that in a couple of weeks, then I'm going to integrate all the cards and start using the one world.
Yeah.
But till now, I'm still learning and I'm still processing them and I'm still growing.
Yes. Yes. No, I get that. So, okay. Now, put them out in pairs, night page, night page. And the order is wands, swords, pentacles,
Okay.
cups.
Okay. So is there
Okay.
any reason why you take this as the lineup?
Well, yeah, it goes back to the aces where you've got the sort of masculine ones and the feminine ones. And it's just a
Okay.
habit of mine. You do not have to keep this order
Okay.
in your life, but it's how,
It's yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I'll start then with the Page of Wands.
Yep.
And the Page of Wands is a story about a younger person that's filled with energy and fire and passion, but the message itself is so like it's an idea yet, more than a message itself. But then the younger person likes to have the attention of people around him. It's a very pat or her. It's a extremely. It's a very passionate subject, whatever it is, and it's up and coming, and people are interested in this. And if it's given in a reading and it has something to do with something new, a new idea, and it's a good one, it's the time for that person to pick up that idea and run with it and try to see what they can do to bring this to manifestation and to fruition.
Excellent. So in the Rider-Waite, and I love and respect the Rider-Waite, but the Page of Wands was one of the ones that used to fox people because it's a medieval lad with a staff in the Rider-Waite, and it's about being the speaker. And I used to call it my Obama card. So when we came to do One World, I said, we've got to make it more obvious that the person is a compelling speaker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, just while I think of it, write this down as part of your homework. I don't want to confuse you by moving too much between the decks, but I think as we do Kings and Queens and Knights and Pages, the court cards, I want you to have a look at your Rider-Waite.
Okay.
Knight and Page and the One World, and then you'll see what we've kept the same and what we've tweaked, and we've tweaked it for a reason to make it clearer, but then you'll still just recognize the Rider-Waite if you're using that deck. I wouldn't be doing this for all the cards, not even the major arcana, not all the others of the minor arcana, but I think for the court cards, because they're often the hard ones anyway, that exercise will actually help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's good. I love that definition of the page. Now, Knight of Wands, what's happening there?
Well, the Knight of Wands, I always want to show you, is
yeah, that's okay.
is a person on a very powerful horse, and they have command over this message, whatever it is. They understand it. It's a message that's come to a whole different level, and there is growth coming off the wand itself, which means it's a good time for this message, whatever it is, to become public. It's a sure message. It's still a passionate. It's full of energy.
Okay.
And
sorry, I just want to stop you there because you're doing all the qualities are great. I'm so impressed with what you're saying. But to remember, it's pages are the messengers and knights are the offers and opportunities. They're the action cards.
Okay. So the message.
So they're putting the message into action with offers and opportunities.
Okay.
Sorry to break the flow because everything you're saying is right, but I just wanted you to get that in as well.
It's the message. I mean, it's the message that this person wants to tell.
No, forget message. Messages are the pages. It's no longer a message.
Okay,
that's why I had to pull you up.
Yeah, I'm still not quite getting it. So it's more than a message.
Putting it into action.
Putting something into action. Putting it into action. Okay.
Now, 2 words for the night. Well, 3. One is action.
Yep.
The 2 O's are offers and opportunities. So every night represents an action that offers you something. It's an opportunity or an offer of that suit. Now keep going because you were going really well.
So the Knight then, the Knight of Wands is a person who is ready to do action, some action on an offer or an opportunity that has come into his or her life.
It's a time for action, and it represents an opportunity to do that.
Time for action. Okay. So
they're very tricky, the court cards, I know. Once you've got them, it's hard to imagine why they're complicated. But every student I've had, this is the one set that they struggle with, are the court cards.
Yeah.
So I try and give you different ways of thinking about them. because
Mhm.
something sticks in your brain that wouldn't work for someone else, and so forth. Another way of looking at all the court cards, kings, queens, knights, pages, as a family. So if you think of the kings and queens as the parents, the knights are the young adults going out in the world and trying things, and the pages are still at home.
Okay,
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good way to look at it. I think
Right?
that'll stick. I hope that'll stick.
Yeah. Because you've just got to keep feeding your brain metaphorical, if that's the word,
Yep,
ideas or something, till something goes, oh, now I get it. So
telling that
before we
story.
go any further, we'll talk a bit more about this, which is just like the kings and queens can be, a king can be an older man representing that thing. It can be a woman representing that thing, because we don't want to get too caught up on gender, right?
Right.
Okay. It's the same with the knights and pages. We've tried to get it away from the sort of heavily gendered thing, but it can also, a page turning up for a 67-year-old, right, might be a young person in their life with a message, or it can be that youthful aspect of yourself bringing you a message, or
Right.
if it's a knight, an action. So there's sort of layers, of what it could be.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's when you talk to the person, you can say, oh, it's a page, like, is there a young person who's a water sign, if it was cups or something? Oh, yes, that's my grandson. He's a poet, right? Okay. Or if they go, no, it's that side of you that never grows old, and you probably did piano in the convent for years and then haven't touched it for 40 years, and it's time to pick up the piano. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I can remember it, but yeah, I see
No,
it.
don't worry about remembering it, in the sense of, as you do more readings, you'll be forced to sort of look it up or think about it or remind yourself, and eventually it goes in. So
Yep.
I'm just trying to, before we break down the others by suit, these are the generic things that are up for consideration if you see any of the court cards.
Okay.
Yeah?
Got it. Yeah, I think I have
Don't
it.
worry about sort of, compressing it all in.
Okay.
Yeah. Think about it and write notes about it, but it will, trust me, it will go in. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So you did a really good job on the wands. I'm loving that. So I want you to, now with the swords, just generally, every time you look at one, go pages and messengers. Knights are offers and opportunities and action. Just plant that before you get into all the detail. So talk to me about the Page of Swords.
Just writing that down. Okay. So the Page of Swords is a messenger,
Thank you.
and the message, the messenger or the message is not well thought out yet. It's got a lot of maturing
Good.
to do.
Yeah.
He's impatient. He's a little bit even assertive and aggressive a little bit, but um, he still has got something to say, and it is from the air, which is probably going to be coming in from your computer, emails, news, something across the wires. Yeah, the idea, your intellect, your friend's intellect. It's going to be something new that's coming. But the messenger itself is not even fully straightening everything. He's not fully there. He's looking over here as he's presenting the message to you. So there's really nothing about this messenger that is mature or patient.
Okay. If you think about it, if you're about to take someone's head off with a sword, your body does actually twist away from it to bring maximum impact.
Okay.
cord. Okay. Now, another really useful thing with all the court cards, and I'll put this out to as a challenge for you too, is to think of a person. So for me, the Page of Swords is my Greta Thunberg card.
Oh, good one.
Remember
Very
her?
good. Yeah.
Okay, and
her.
it encapsulates the energy because with the Page of Swords, there's a righteousness to the Page of Swords, which is, don't you fucking get it? We have no more time to fuck around with band-aids about climate change. We have to act now.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yep. It's a really good
So, yeah,
correlation.
and like the Page of Wands was my Obama, right?
The Page of
Um,
Wands is what? The Page of Wands was
Page of
who?
Wands was my Obama card, which is the
Oh, okay. Yeah,
speaker.
yeah.
He could just stand there and deliver a moving
Yep.
speech, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, by attaching it to a person, this really helps. Because if you think about that energy and that little mini story,
Yep.
the Page of Swords, and then when we get to the Knight, they're often right about something, but they're
Yes.
very blunt, very ruthless about doing it. I don't think
Yep.
she is, don't get me wrong, but
Right.
many people would feel overwhelmed by her position or whatever, you know.
Yep. Yep.
It's not a coochie coo
No.
energy. So there is this righteousness there. So when it turns up in a reading, you go, is this a good energy thing that you really need to do? You need to pull your finger out
Yeah.
and listen to this message, or is it a bit over the top and ruthless? You have to do the juggle, right?
Yep.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. A lot. Yeah.
And with
Are the
these,
are the birds anything in it?
well, I think the birds are indicating flight generally. And again, air. Birds in the
Oh,
air are taking
okay.
flight because there's this movement going on.
Getting
So
things out.
things
Yep.
are going to take off, you know.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I want you to look at the Knight of Swords and contrast it with the Knight of Wands.
Okay. So the Knight of Swords is an opportunity. What's the other word? The
Good.
opportunity and an offer, some kind of an offer, an opportunity again for the air, which is coming from any way, and it could be your own intellect, any source, and your own intellect. And this time, the person is actually taking an action in it and flying toward whatever it is that they're passionate about. The sword is drawn, the two-edged sword is drawn, and it's completely on the page. This is a very mature effort to complete this opportunity. And the
Well,
white horse is purity. It's got
yeah.
all pure and wonderful intent. The flowers falling from the tree is again showing the movement and the force of this whole thing going forward.
I wouldn't say mature response, I'd say more mature, but not mature.
More mature, okay.
Because the story I used to tell myself, right, was with the Knight of Swords, if you think about the Crusaders, right? Now, again, there's that righteousness.
Mm-hmm.
They were convinced God was on their side
Mm-hmm.
and the cause was just, and this person's charging into the battle. He doesn't care if he loses 1,000 men because the cause is
That's right.
righteous.
Right.
The Knight of Wands is going into battle, but he does care and he doesn't want to lose 1,000 men. So he
Mm-hmm.
is more strategic. See how the horse is slightly being reined in
Mm-hmm.
with the Knight of Wands. Now, if you read conventional tarot descriptions, they'll say Knight of Wands out there, energy, 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 dung, dung, dung. But I always thought because the Rider Waite has the horse being reined in, And I think there's a reason to that. And I think it's a more subtle dimension to it. He's going into battle today, but the difference is he's having a good look at what's on the horizon. What is the exit strategy? What's the impact going to be? What is the best
Right.
way forward, as opposed to the blanket righteousness, because the Knight of Swords is the impulsive knight.
Yep.
It can be the card of revenge and other things, but I don't want to crowd your brain at the
Right.
moment. I just wanted you to look at them in contrast to each other.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Because
I
if you
would
just
not have
see them
noticed.
one by one, you think, oh, yeah, it's someone else on a horse.
Right. Right.
But you're sort of starting to get that
I
landscape
have a lot
now.
better. I have a lot better idea. Thank you. Yeah,
Yes.
very good.
And it doesn't mean that the swords are in any way bad. It can be just what a person needs, right? To
Yes.
fire them up and get going.
Yep.
Or if they're
Exactly.
already fired up, it may not be in their best interest. They're not listening.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the more you can create little stories.
Wonderful. Yeah, I will be doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps. It really, really, really helps. Okay. Now, I think you've done a good job on those. Don't misunderstand me. I'm only
Yeah.
fleshing out your understanding, because
Well, I
you've got a
appreciate
really good grasp on the suits now, and that thrills me. Okay. Now, Page of Pentacles.
Okay. The Page of Pentacles. What's the right word there? Well, I'll just go through it. I can't, because this isn't the offer and the opportunity. That's for the Knight. The Page of Pentacles is I forgot the word we used for that one.
Think
Action.
about it.
The
What was
action.
it?
Action? Is that the word we used for
No,
pages?
pages are.
I can't use messenger because that's
Yes, you can. Yes, you
it's
can.
a messenger?
All the pages are
Oh,
messengers.
so, okay, that's what I thought. Okay,
Yeah.
well, there's
So
a message
that's your
coming.
fallback. You're looking at
Okay,
a page, you're going blank. All pages are messengers.
got it. Thank you on that, because, okay.
Yeah. So that's your starting point. And it's a
So
message about that suit. So after that, you can start working with it. Okay.
So it's offering a message, and you can see the pentacle that it's offering, which is also earth and ground, but it's also health and values. There's an opportunity coming that might be able to increase or enhance your knowledge or your value system, and help you to be more stable. It might also be a job opportunity or something that's going to help you financially. And it's a time of your life, if you get this card, that things are going to start flourishing in this area around you.
Yes. Excellent. Good. I'm very happy with that. Great. Now, what's the image on the Knight of Pentacles telling me?
The Knight of Pentacles is my favorite knight.
Oh, bless.
I just love him. He's reliable, he's sturdy, he's trustworthy. There's all of these. He plods along and gets his job done. The horse is one to be recommended because it's such a workhorse. The opportunity is here for enhancing your money situation, working or improving. Maybe you're going to be getting a raise on your job. It can also be an offered opportunity for health if you're working on that. And for your value system, it may be for you to a time to reconsider your values and to see if they're all still pretty good. That's kind of what the Knight of Pentacles is.
I'm
It's a
loving
great
that.
opportunity.
That is so cool. That is so cool. Yeah, it's the loyal, steadfast, one foot in front of the other,
I just love.
reliable breadwinner thing.
Yep.
But this is an opportunity to keep doing that if that's right. Yeah, all of that.
Yep.
You're nailing this, Faye. I'm
Good.
thrilled. Okay, and the last couple.
The Page of Cups. It's a very watery messenger that's coming, and that by means like a little crush or something that's emotional. It has a surprise in the cup, like the fish, but and the man itself, who's riding his gondola, is very surprised over the message, but he's understanding the water and its the emotions of it, the liquidy part of it all. Um, so it's a messenger that is going to be talking about relationships, love, the
Yeah.
like.
And also personal creativity with the
Oh yeah, the creativity. Yeah. Time to do artwork.
Yes.
See this? If you see that, I painted that. You see that up
Oh,
there at
good
all?
on you. Good
Yeah,
on
I
you.
just started painting. I'm 70, so I started painting at 65.
Oh,
And
go
I can't
girl.
stop. I love it.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you
Fantastic. Wow, that's absolutely gorgeous.
you pick up these habits at any time, and that's what the Page of Cups is saying. It's saying that
Yeah,
a 65-year-old lady can learn to paint, you know?
absolutely. And you picked up on the surprise news. That's
Yeah.
also, yeah, good. And the Knight of Cups.
The Knight of Cups. Now, this is an opportunity again. Then the Knight of Cups is actually offering an opportunity to do with the emotions of love and care and relationships, but he's also masked. This is not a knight that's going to be riding into battle like the other ones are. I mean, it's not a direct force of nature. It's more of a pure heart, pure intentions, but the knight himself who is offering this opportunity has a mask on, and you can't really tell what's under that mask. So there still might be some surprises, as with the fish in the cup
Mm,
with the Knight of Cups. It's a more forceful, stronger, emotional message that's coming, either love affair or the like.
yes,
And it's also to do with creativity. So
thank you.
here we have another it's a more forceful opportunity to get yourself back into, if you've gone away from it, some
Mm,
kind of a creative thing that you have loved in the past, a
hmm.
passion.
Yeah, yeah, good way of putting it. Brilliant. Look, I think you're so on top of these. So I'm just making a note to put in your email about homework is compare those. That's good. Well, that brings us to we did kings and queens, didn't we, last week?
No, we haven't done the
Oh, we
kings and
haven't
queens.
done them.
I
I'm not
think they're
pulling
going to
you
be
up. I'm
next.
sorry, I'm confused.
Yep.
Just let me write that down for next week, kings and queens, so I don't forget. Okay. So, as part of your homework, I just want you to compare the visual cards of the Rider-Waite, just knights and pages,
Okay.
not kings and queens yet. That's not just knights and pages. So
Okay.
you go to page, this is a message from that suit, about that suit, involving that components of that
Yep.
suit, right? Action, opportunities, offers. That'll always just get you through, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fabulous, hun. Now, readings. Woo.
Okay. I'll put these away and get out my Rider-Waite. Wait. And I got my readings. Well, I got them prepared someplace, of course. Don't tell me I left them in the other room. Oh, here they are, right behind me. I knew I did. Oh, and I wanted to ask this, and I know it's so the first thing I want to go to is I have an adopted son in Gambia. I just pay money for him but we've been involved with each other for 15 years.
Yep.
And it's terrible in Gambia.
Oh,
Terrible. The
Jesus. Yeah.
political thing is
Yeah.
just barrels is well anyway, there was a coup today.
Oh,
So everybody's on
Jesus.
shutdown and he's on shutdown. But my question for the cards is Is Gambia ever going to improve politically? Now, you said ban political stuff, so I don't know if you want to
No,
do
but
this.
by that I meant American political
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if I'd say improve. Maybe sometimes when you're not sure about an actual question,
Yeah.
you can always say, tell me about.
Okay.
And I think this is an example of that.
Tell me about the
Tell me
Gambian.
about the future of Gambia.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah, I
sure
have
you
to
want to
say
go there?
when Trump called them that S-hole country, actually I thought, Gambia is that because of the corruption. It's so horrible.
Well, every third world country is being held back by corruption,
Yeah.
and we tend to look on very imperiously from the West. Whereas now, what we've got with lobbyists buying votes and everything, America is a total kleptocracy and a corrupt state. We just don't see it in the same way.
There has been weeks here in the last 4 or 5 years where we just watch you or Linda
Right.
and no news.
Yes.
Can't
Yes.
stand it.
But you know what I mean? Even before Trump, it was drifting that way. It
Yeah,
is actually all about, it's an oligarchy. America is an oligarchy.
horrible. Yeah, I know.
Biggest wealth disparity in the world. And
You
so
think
when it's
worse than Gambia?
Botswana or Nepal, we go, oh, corruption, corruption.
Yeah,
When it's America, we say, oh, big business. Yeah, you know.
yeah, yeah. I do know. I do know. I'm totally with you on this. Yeah.
Yeah. I have another viewer too who's supported a family in Gambia for 20 years as well. So,
And how do you get out of it? After you start, you're there because if you don't do this, this kid will die. I tried to pull back from him a while and he sold his blood and now he's so sick. And I'm thinking, what did I do?
yeah,
I
yeah,
can't.
you've got to
Oh,
be in it for the long haul.
yeah, I have to be or he
Mm,
will perish.
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So you
Do
now
you
watch
really
my,
want to look at that though?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. I do. I
Mm.
want to say, I want the question to be, and watch my,
You're
my,
shuffling.
here.
Put your hands in a natural position though. For
Okay, I
the,
got to put this down.
yeah,
I don't think it's going to go down. I don't have that flexibility.
right.
But when I do it
Let me
now, I've
see.
been doing it all week. It's going pretty good.
Oh, look at that. Look at you, girl.
Yeah.
Flying through. Doesn't a week make a difference?
Ah!
That happens. That happens. Don't worry.
Yep.
It
So
really
I'm gonna,
makes a difference. And are you doing your 1, 2, 3 or your 3, 2,
yep,
1?
yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep,
All right. So you're going to ask the question.
yeah.
Tell me about Gambia.
Tell
Are
me,
you going? Let's put some sort of time frame because future's too vague. Maybe the next 2 years.
tell me about Gambia for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Tell me about Gambia for the next 2 years. Whoops. I
No, it's
shouldn't have
because
shown
you're
up.
holding your hands up for the camera. Just
Yeah, I'm trying to
relax.
hold them up.
Yeah.
I'll just put down to where I do it. Yeah. Tell
Yeah.
me about Gambia for the next 2 years. Tell me about Gambia for the next 2 years. Tell me about Gambia. 2, 3, stop. Okay.
Okay. They're going to be face down. Off you go.
And only do the 4-card one.
Yeah, we are this week.
Okay, I got the 4 cards down and
Okay.
I'll flip over. Oh my goodness, the justice card.
Not bad, really. Could be
Yeah,
worse.
yeah. So maybe for Gambia, there will be some change coming in the next 2 years, something that will help the people a little bit.
Mm.
I mean, he cannot afford beans. Even with the $60 I send him, he can't afford beans or fish.
Mm.
I just get nuts.
I know, it's heartbreaking.
It's terrible. Okay. Ooh, for the next 3 cards, he has got the 9 of Pentacles, which again,
Sorry. what I want you to do is just tell me what each one is before you start to read them. So I've got a thing in
Okay,
my head. Okay,
the
Nine of
nine,
Pentacles.
the Nine of Pentacles and Temperance and the Fool. And
Wow.
it's interesting. It's all really, I mean, I'm just getting goosebumps for hope. So I just about can't even read it. It's just so happy.
I know.
So justice looks like it will come for Barrows. I'm thinking that there will be a coup eventually, and I told Booba this. There will probably be a coup eventually that will work. There's so many attempts, and Barrows is so hated by the people.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that might be that, and there's no way that people there can be sitting in their garden with all of their lush stuff around them, but some of the very, very wealthy maybe, that I don't know. There's very
Well, of
wealthy.
course, every corrupt regime is working for somebody, and it's working for that 1% who have very nice lives. They would send their children to be educated in Paris. They would be sending their parents to have health care in Switzerland, and everyone else is suffering.
Yeah, so there you got it. But I always, when I do this card, I always talk about, I don't even know where I got this from or where I heard this, but the hawk with the hood, that
Yeah.
it's not completely set there. This lady is looking also for something else. She's hunting. This hawk will go out hunting for her
Mm,
and will find something for her and bring it back.
mm.
I hope that's my booba, that this one will be him.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And the temperance. This is so incredible for Gambia because it means more balance, more something is going to be coming that the people might actually also be able to hang their hat on. This is an angel that is balancing the cups from one to another and not spilling a drop, and she's on the water, which is spiritual, and the land, which is earthly and what is physical, and she's balancing the two. The sun is coming up, the flowers are blooming, and this is exactly what Gambia needs, is a breath of hope here to come.
Yes. Yes. Mm.
And of course, the Fool. The
Mm.
Fool is in my opinion, the most important card because it is the beginning and the end of the major arcana.
Mm.
And without any hesitation, if this fool walks off the cliff, he will fall. So if Gambia is going to have a new beginning and they don't have their ducks in order and have things going on that to bring hope for the people, it will again fall. But let's hope on this one that they will have a spiritual helper. Even the dog is helping here in moving ahead, and the people will be helped with the flower and the sun coming up and beating on the Fool. Perhaps this is coming that when he walks off this ledge, there will be more justice, which is this card.
Yes, exactly. It's the brand new day card,
Yes, a brand new day. God, I hope
And
that.
a surprise, I'm sure, to both of us, only 4 cards and 3 are major arcana.
Yes, yes. It's an important reading, and especially today, it's an important reading.
Yes, yes, yes. Isn't tarot amazing?
It is. I never ever get tired of it, and it
No,
never fails to just fill me up with this excitement of all the stuff coming. And
absolutely.
I feel like when I'm reading, I feel like what I am is a giver of seeds.
Yeah.
It's the giver of seeds of hope. It's the giver of seeds of help in their life.
Mm.
Um, that is what I feel like I am. It's up for other people then if they, whatever seed they take, to go out and have that watered, but some will. It'll mean a lot
Yes,
to them.
yes,
I'm
yes,
excited.
yes. Such a buzz, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's a real
Okay,
turn
put
on.
those cards back
Okay.
randomly in the deck.
And I have a lot of other questions too, so we can
Good.
ask however many we get to, but I'm really glad we asked that one.
Yeah.
So my next one is, will my health improve?
Who's talking?
Okay, who is talking? And I have had this one asked to me. It's a difficult one. Okay, let's say it is a 45-year-old person that has been ill for a year.
That's the true story. It's a real
No, I
question.
made that one up.
No, because there can be no answer. It's not a real question.
Okay,
No,
so
they've got to be real questions.
I don't remember who asked me that question. It's not imprinted on my mind. Should I go to another question?
Yeah.
Okay, this one I do remember who asked this one. Should I go to my kid's wedding in Hawaii? I mean,
And
the
why
person is
wouldn't
from,
they?
huh?
Why wouldn't they? COVID, money, why wouldn't they go?
Yeah, it was all of those things. It was money. It was a hardship on them to go to Hawaii. They haven't been out of the States that long. I mean, out of the still is part of the States, but they have never gone across the sea in a plane. I mean, it was a really big deal. And I don't remember what the card said, but that really was a question. Should I go to my kid's wedding in Hawaii?
So they can actually afford it. They're just very tentative and nervous.
Yes, they were very nervous.
Okay. Is it still a valid question, or has the wedding come and gone?
On this question,
Mm.
it's not a valid question anymore. That was from a while ago.
Yeah. See, this is the thing for these, you need real questions.
Oh,
You can't just make them up because spirit can't give you an answer to something that's just not real.
Well, then one of the questions I've got down here is a question I asked myself, and this is a real one. Will my lost tortoise ever come home?
No, because it's about you. Now we're coming to
Okay,
the issue of what we need from questions, right?
okay,
So you put the word out with family, friends, neighbors, if anyone has any questions.
okay,
If you don't get enough, you supplement them. I know this sounds weird, but with celebrity questions
okay,
because they are, in fact, real questions. Even though we don't
okay.
care about the people, the questions are real. So, will John Travolta ever leave Scientology? Is a valid question.
Oh,
You
should we
see what?
ask that one? Because I don't have any questions like that. I
Okay,
have,
so you need to get cracking for next week because, like,
okay,
we
I
need
will,
6 or 8 or
I
10.
will.
But that's okay. You just go on any junk gossip site,
Yeah, I will.
and you think about it. Will Beyonce have another baby? Will Nicole Kidman, you know, do
Right.
something or whatever? I'm out of touch with who they
Okay,
are, but will
I can do
Angelina
that.
Jolie's health
Sure.
decline?
Princess
So you can
Megan
ask
and
our
Harry.
question about anything, but it happens
Yep.
to be a celebrity because we just need to have real questions.
Okay. Another real question that I get, and it comes in different form, is my mother died, and will the cards give me any message from her at all? How do you handle that one?
Okay, you will get asked this a lot. You can either do it or you don't. So, for example, if people ask me that, and they're desperate, right? They really, someone's done. They really want more engagement. I refer them to Dave from Moonlight because he's really good at channeling dead people. However, if it's that actual question, well, it's not the question of the cards. It's whether you, as a reader, can get a message from my mother. Right? This again. You've always got to ask what they're really asking.
Right.
Okay, and that's what they're really asking. Can you give me a message from my dead mother? Now, it's up to you where you end up going and not going. Now, for example, we'll actually spend the rest of the time talking about these things because they're very
Okay.
important.
Yeah.
Something I don't do is timelines for aging parents, right? I actually put that in my notes. If someone
Oh, yeah.
asks me, I don't do it because they might be coming with good heart. Oh, I only want to make sure I see mum a lot if she hasn't got long to go, etc., etc. But you don't know that they're not going to put a pillow over her face to get the inheritance, right? You actually don't go there. Also, I had an astrology reading many years ago that said my mother would pass at 86. And I told my sister, and I was living in London, and I rushed back from London. We rushed around in the day. She went to 101. So apart from anything else, you can just be wrong.
Right.
Now, you're perfectly entitled, and particularly at the beginning, funnily enough, I think you should cast your net wide. And you might end up being the fabulous tarot reader on dead mothers, right? Because I don't do it doesn't mean you don't. Having said that, I am doing it more, and I'm getting good results that people are happy with. So I had to say all that to get to your question, which is you can say, particularly if you're not charging, and you can say, I'm not going to charge for this because it's not my forte, but I'm happy to try for you. And if you're not charging, nothing's lost, right?
Right.
Or if you've already charged and you've answered 4 questions and they say that you don't talk about money, you go, I'm more than happy to try for you. Right?
How I have handled it, and it's really not different than that because I have been getting that question, is I tell them I'm not a psychic and I'm not a medium, and I have never heard or saw dead people. But the cards sometimes do give a message. And if you want to try this with me, we can try.
Exactly. Right? So that's
Yeah.
what you do.
Yeah.
And you probably find you'll be okay at it. You might not be the best in the game, but there will be some sort of message,
Yeah. And the person that I did it with was happy with the reading. So that was
And
all
that's
good.
been happening to me more. I used to, like I say, just brush it. Now I've been doing it more. Like anything, you get better at it too.
Yeah. I'm hoping eventually to get to read more. And I would like to even read this way more of people. And that's really difficult to try to get like people to do that.
Yeah.
To get them to read this way.
I'm
working on it. And if my intention is out there and I keep putting it out there, I'm hoping it'll happen.
Oh, absolutely. So in the meantime, let's go back to a 4-carder because John Travolta's been with Scientology forever. Let's ask.
What is the question?
Well, what would you like to know? The question I threw out was, will he ever leave Scientology?
Okay. Will he ever leave? Will John Travolta, cute little guy,
Oh, what a spunk.
ever leave Scientology? Ever leave Scientology? Will John Travolta ever leave Scientology? 1, 2, 3. Stop.
I'm very curious about this now.
Yeah. Okay, 4 cards all face down. Flipping first card over, top card over. Oh, the Knight of Cups. Very different from the other Knight of Cups. I see why I have got to study both of them together. But the Knight of Cups here is on again, he's not suited for doing armor or battle. And knowing John Travolta is probably about the arts. He's got his cup in his hand about some kind of a message that or a happening that's going to be coming to him concerning emotions and intellect and his own craft, which is his arts. I don't know what the message is, but some kind of an opportunity is coming to John Travolta that might offer him to change his mind a little bit up there.
Or not. We don't know at this point without the other cards, right?
Yeah.
Something will be crossing his path.
Yeah,
He lost a son. Didn't he also lose his wife recently, or did I dream that?
I don't watch
I
anything to
don't
do
want
with
to wish
him.
her. I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
I
I
don't
think
know
that was
anything
Kirstie
about
Alley
him
or something.
except
No.
that he appeared in
Okay.
that.
All right. Let's see
Okay.
what the other cards say.
All right. The first card is the Eight of Swords, has a bondage.
Keep going.
And the second one is the Four of Pentacles.
Right.
And the last card is the Seven of Pentacles. I mean, the Seven of Cups. So 2 out of the 4 are cups, which is emotions and his art, his art and his craft, which is acting. I would say from this that he has felt a little bit hostage to the Scientologists. He's not completely happy anymore
Mm,
with
mm,
being a part of them.
mm,
Is I'm gathering on this. He doesn't feel balanced. He doesn't feel that temperance that he wants to feel in life.
mm,
He's feeling like he has earned enough money. He's feeling like he's got all of his gifts and everything around him, even his health, that he's holding tight, his
mm.
value system, everything about him, he is holding on to very tightly. And he's also being offered, along with this Knight of Cups, which is the first offering of an opportunity,
I'll
he's
come
being
back to that in
offered,
a moment.
yeah, what?
I'll come back to the Knight in a moment. Talk me
Okay,
through the Seven of Cups.
he's being offered a lot of opportunities and a lot of things going on, but some of these are delusions and illusions, of course. He doesn't know exactly what to choose, what to pick, but he's not entirely happy with Scientology
No,
anymore.
it's not what I expected, actually, I have to say. Interesting. Now back to the Knight. Now, normally the Knight of Cups, and I think in many ways that's him. He brings joy and gorgeousness. John Travolta, I mean, like
Yeah,
one of Hollywood's nice guys, right?
yeah,
Now, because we do these perverse people and these hideous political readings, Johnny from Tarot's Apprentice, he kept getting the Knight of Cups for these different people, and he said, I think sometimes the Knight of Cups can be the false knight. And
mm,
that sort of caught on. You'll hear more of us going, particularly in these jaundiced readings.
mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking of Ron Hubbard,
Ron, who?
the guy who started Scientology,
Oh, okay.
the
Oh,
false knight.
oh, yeah, absolutely. So maybe this whole reading is about Scientology and its effect on John Travolta.
And I think he's very confused because, look, he would have been brought up a Catholic Italian, right?
Yeah,
Then he was in Scientology very early, from his 20s. What do we know in our 20s,
right.
And he's now our age. So his entire life has been something. He had the loss of the son and he still stayed with it, etc., etc. But I think there's something now where he's beginning to go, He is confused at this point in his life.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. He's still holding on to everything. He's holding
Yes,
on to everything.
yes.
But in his outcome, all of these, even holding on to it, it's not going to stop him from looking at opportunities and what else is all out there for him to actually look at, because deep in his heart, he's not entirely satisfied. He's not entirely happy anymore. And if this is the false night of the guy that did that,
Mm.
Scientology, this really could be. We'll have to keep our eyes out on him to see what's going to be happening.
Yeah, because we've never seen, I'm sure a lot of people get sucked into it and then drift away and we never hear of it again. I've
Right,
never seen a high profile defection
right.
like him
That would be
or like
wonderful.
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, that would be worth watching.
Yeah, totally. Well, how fascinating. Okay, so, honey, next week we're going to do kings and queens. We are going to do more 4 cards, but I will show you a 5 card.
Okay.
So when you go to your One World Tarot book before next week, just have the 5 card diagram. Just put a bookmark in it. Don't read about it. Don't jump ahead. Just put a bookmark so you can quickly look at it next week.
Okay.
And I'll put that in your homework email. But
Sounds
you're flying now, Faye. You're doing really well. So now it's about the questions too. I've got to put that in.
Yeah, I really got to work on that.
We need lots of questions.
Yep.
Oh my word, what fun. So
it is.
Isn't it fabulous?
It
So
really
honey,
is.
I'll see you next week.
Okay. I just love you. I love doing this. It's just.
And I love these questions too. So, you know, you're seeing you actually really reading now. So work on your questions. It's just fabulous. Good on you, Faye. Congratulations.
Thank you. I hope you have a wonderful Merry Christmas. I don't know if you do Christmas or not, but the whole season ahead.
Absolutely. You too. Season's greetings. Take care, huh?
Yep.
Regards to hubby.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.